Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Overnight, Russian forces launched more than 100 attack drones against Ukraine, according to Ukraine's Air Force. Ukrainian defenders recorded 59 drone impacts across 18 locations nationwide. Now, the main focus of the strikes was on the frontline regions of Ukraine. Russian troops carried out a massive drone assault on the Odessa region, wounding one person with shrapnel, according to preliminary reports. Authorities confirmed damage to civilian energy and transport infrastructure. Several fires broke out at energy facilities, but they were quickly extinguished by emergency crews. In Kramatorsk, in the Donetsk region, local officials said the city was heavily targeted by Russian drones. 7 Russian UAVs struck within 30 minutes, killing one man, according to initial reports. Meanwhile, according to Romania's defense ministry, they discovered possible drone fragments roughly 5 kilometers inside its borders following Russia's overnight attack on Ukraine's Danube river ports. Due to poor weather, Romania was unable to scramble fighter jets, and residents in the area were warned to take shelter. Romania, which shares a 650-kilometer border with Ukraine, has repeatedly reported Russian drone debris falling on its soil and airspace violations in recent months. Across the border in Russia, Ukrainian drones targeted Saratov region overnight, damaging civilian infrastructure, as reported by local authorities. Regional media suggest that the Saratov oil refinery was among the targets. According to their estimates, this marks the 7th attack on the refinery since the beginning of 2025. Now turning to the main topic of the week, the front line. Situation in Pokrovsk-Marinokhrad area remains extremely difficult as Ukrainian forces continue to fight to hold the flanks of what analysts describe as a pocket, an area where part of the defending forces is partially encircled by the enemy. Russian troops are maintaining pressure and advancing in this sector. Reports indicate that Ukrainian forces have recently cleared the settlement of Rodinske north of Pokrovsk in an effort to secure the pocket's northern flank. At the same time, Ukrainian troops are counterattacking in Pokrovsk and on its western outskirts to prevent further Russian progress on the southern side of the encirclement. According to analysts at the Institute for the Study of War, Russian advances in northern and western Pokrovsk have slowed in recent days, likely due to persistent Ukrainian counterattack efforts. Russian forces, however, are believed to maintain fire control over Ukrainian ground lines of communication into the pocket, which significantly complicate Ukraine's logistics. Analysts assess that Russian forces are simultaneously working to complete the encirclement of the pocket while also trying to shrink its size through local offenses. However, the Institute notes that the timeline and prospects for these efforts remain unclear. The drones from Ukraine's Strike Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Complex company have once again proven their effectiveness over the South Slobozhansky direction. During a series of precision strikes, operators of the Fury drone destroyed 4 Russian positions, 3 pieces of equipment, a communication device, a field fuel depot, and eliminated 3 enemy troops. Each strike combined reconnaissance, precise planning, and the steady skill of Ukrainian pilots working directly on the front line. On the night of November 10th, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces carried out a successful strike on an oil depot in Simferopol, located in temporarily occupied Crimea. Preliminary reports say drones hit the pumping station directly, sparking a large-scale fire. This marks the 3rd strike on the facility in the past month. The oil depot is a critical hub in the fuel and logistic network for Russian forces on the peninsula, supplying fuel to enemy military units and equipment. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces continue to systematically target and dismantle the infrastructure supporting Russia's war effort. Our next report features footage condensed into 1 minute, capturing 10 minutes of intense combat. Continuous mortar and artillery strikes and houses set ablaze by direct hits. These images come from the village of Volodymyrivka in the Donetsk region. Each explosion marks a battle for every meter of land, for every home, for the right to live freely on one's own soil. Ukrainian defenders continue to hold their ground under heavy fire, pushing back enemy forces who are once again trying to advance despite suffering losses. Ukrainian military personnel are faced with the need to improvise on the field, protecting their vehicles with various modifications. New footage shows an American Humvee that has undergone another round of such field modifications. Alongside the standard additions, metal mesh to guard against FPV drones, protrusion to hinder direct strikes, and rubber screens underneath for protection. The vehicle is also surrounded by steel cables stretched along the sides and across the roof. Similar defenses have been used on Ukrainian T-72B3 tanks and are now adapted for mobile Humvee units. These upgrades, crude as they may look, significantly lower the risk of damage from kamikaze drones and shrapnel, giving crews a better chance of survival even in the most dangerous frontline conditions.
От такий у нас прогрес. Тросики ваші йдуть. Так що в кого є троси, необмежений кількості, трос, дамо запрос на троси, на резину. Хто дуже багато дасть, може надати. Можемо дати бронь, щоб ТЦК не трогало. Все як полагається. Профіль постійно треба. Може опять якийсь спонсор знайдеться, проплата. Ну як-то так. Сіточка. Це щоб комарів ловити. Оце постригли на цій стороні. От так якось ми живемо, воюємо і тому подобне. Все, всім миру, добра.
And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.